The Grapevine Podcast is sponsored by ID Rum. To purchase your bottles, go to www.imdrinking.uk. Welcome to another episode of the Grapevine Podcast.
I'm Soph.
And I'm Shell. And we're here today with a new guest.
Hey, what's going on? Comedian, actor, Aurie Styla. How you guys doing?
He's in the house.
You good?
Yes, thank you very much.
Lovely.
You?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. I can't complain.
You had a
Thank you
good
for
journey
travelling
here.
all this way.
It's not that far. Hour and a half drive. It's not too bad. It's not that bad.
You're coming from Bedfordshire, right?
I am, yeah. I'm a Bedfordian now. London born and raised. That's what we're called, Bedfordian.
I actually haven't heard that before.
So are you Birmingham, right?
Yes,
so
we are. So Brummies.
Yeah,
Brummies.
Bedfordian. So if you're from Bedford, Bedfordian.
You know which one I can't get? St. Kitts people. What do you call them?
Kittish.
Kittians.
That's
Is it
weird
Kittish
to
or
me.
Kittian?
I thought it was Kittians.
I thought it was Kittish.
Is
Oh.
it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kittish sounds a bit freaky.
I don't. Yeah, I'm a bit. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Sorry.
There's a handful of them that I know, but I've never had to ask them that. So next
Yeah.
time I speak to one, which isn't as often because it's not as comedy bump into them regular. It's not as often. Hold on. Ta-da for fun.
It's far.
Nah, that's cool. It's fun. But yeah, anytime I see them, I'll ask them if it's Kittian or Kittish.
Yeah, that's cool. I've got some friends from St Kitts as well. I can ask.
Okay.
Also, it's interesting. Okay. Some homework that we got to do right there.
Well, we've been big fans for ages.
Thank you.
So we needed to bring you in.
I
for
appreciate
another
that.
Interview.
I appreciate that. And it was easy for me. Again, like an hour and a half. If it was from London, where I'm originally from, 2 hours, I might have gone.
We had a big
Really?
interview.
Nah, I would have come up.
We travel to London regularly, so yeah, you could have done the pod there.
I would have
Not a
come up.
problem.
I would have come up. So I'm only teasing, right?
You know
But
what?
I would've
feel
come
like
up.
we're learning this with you, you know.
I would have come up. I come up to Birmingham quite often for shows, so it's not
Yeah.
like it's like difficult to do. So I would have definitely
And you
come
have
up.
one tonight as well, don't
I
you?
do, yes. Aurie Styla and Friends, where it's me bringing some of my comedy friends that you may know or may not know to just make people laugh.
Who you got with you tonight?
Tonight I've got Joe Bingham, who's actually from Birmingham. I've got Marlon Davis, Jeff Innocent, and I've got supposed to be one, but two guest comedians performing that I haven't announced, so I'm not going to announce.
Oh, you're surprising the crowd.
Yeah, I like.
Nice.
It's nice to do that because when they come and see who they see on the lineup, and then they get a little surprise. They're like, "Ooh!"
Yeah.
So we did one on Friday in Bedford. So that one, it was on the lineup. It was Joe Bingham, Marlon Davis, and Trix, who's from Canada, who's
Oh, I
over
like
here as
Trix.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we had them free, but then just as a special guest afterwards, we had Richard Blackwood.
Yeah.
So
It's a
because
nice special guest.
exactly,
It
they weren't expecting him. It was just
Yeah.
like I went on stage and said, "All right, before we wrap up the show, got a special guest performance. Make some noise for Richard Blackwood." And they just went crazy.
They were just
Especially
weren't
especially the
expecting
women
it.
over 35. You know,
Oh,
it's like,
yeah, of course. Everyone knows a bit of Richard.
But
Yeah.
Richard still looks 35.
He does, looks amazing.
He
So,
does, he
but it's
does.
just nice to have that little touch of, hey, we weren't expecting this, and now we've got a little bit extra. Thank you.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
That's nice.
It is nice touch, isn't
I'm
it?
wondering who the extra guests are now.
I'm not saying. I won't say it. I will not say. You have to be at the show and then see it for yourself. And then when you go, oh, that's nice. It may be someone that people have never seen before. It may be
Yeah.
someone that people have seen but just weren't expecting. But it's just getting more value for your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, when you're doing your Auriestyla and Friends, when you're putting on new comedians, is that what you tend to do?
No, it's
Or is it people who are already established?
bit of both, because you're comedians where they are established but they haven't had the shine that you would hope they would have had with the tenure that they've put into comedy, because some blow up on social media and that's what takes them where they are. Some blow up from doing comedy specials that go up on like different platforms. That's how they blow up, and others are just grafting comedians who have done gig after gig and they've put in time and effort, and maybe because they haven't jumped into the marketing side of like getting themselves beyond club comic, you may not know who they are, but if they can, I get to work with a lot of them because I still do club comedy as well.
Yes.
It's good if I got a platform to put them on to say, hey, you think I'm good, well, come and see this guy who's been going for maybe 15 years, absolute killer. It's great for them to see that too, as well as the newer ones who you may not know again because they haven't put in the tenure, haven't done that amount of time yet there that people recognize them. It's good that everyone gets to see a plethora of different comics, not just the ones who are your go-to favorites. Unless you're a comedy fan and go to regular comedy shows, there are loads that you don't see. You only see maybe 5% of comedians in this country who are either on telly, who are touring a lot, but there is another 95% that if you're not like a comedy head, that you won't necessarily know because you may not go to a comedy club regularly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we really wanted to find out about you
Talk
as
to
a
me.
person
Yeah.
and your journey into becoming a comedian.
let's go back.
And where it started from.
Oh, them
We'll
questions
take you
there.
back.
Okay. All right. So all right. You want to know when?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did you
20
start off?
Did you know
2010.
it was your...
I want to know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no. I think in school you have one or two things that make you popular. Is either if you're attractive or if you're funny, right? And you don't really get the choice of the first
You're
one.
the class joker.
Kind of. I didn't have a choice of the first one, so you have to work on the other thing to kind of keep your popularity
Yeah.
up. And when that happens, some people are just good at getting by with it and using it for, I don't know, maybe in the jobs that they do, or they use it to get girls or to get guys, depending on like who it is. And if you use it in a job that you do, you might do it because you're good at, I don't know, you could be in retail, but you're the person who's great at customer service because you know how to have a chin wag with people.
Yeah.
I think for me, I always wanted to do comedy because it drew attention to me that I felt like I wanted.
Yeah.
I get to 22. That I'd done music before, and I did dancing and all sorts, again, entertainment, drawing attention stuff.
Yeah.
I get to 22. I've hosted shows where I've done games and just brought people on stage, but actually doing a stand-up comedy set. I think I started that. It was 22nd of March 2010. I was 22 years old, and I said, I'm just going to give it a go, because there was a guy who asked me to come down and have a stall there where I was selling like T-shirts that I was making as a little jokey side hustle. I went and did it, and it wasn't the best of sets, but it wasn't bad. And someone asked me straight afterwards, I got another show tomorrow, if you want to come and try some material out there. And I went and did that there, and it just never stopped afterwards.
Okay.
So yeah, so that started.
Oh, that's good. And you've enjoyed the ride.
It's up and down. It's a job of validation. At the beginning, you're gassed. You're like, oh my God, I could get on stage. And like, oh, if I do a really good set, people think I'm funny. And you're young in your 20s. Girls. And
Did you actually get the girls though?
it happens after. Beforehand, no. I'm a geek. I'm a proper geeky tech guy. Let's be honest. Both of you, when you were younger, weren't looking at the guy that liked Marvel comics before Marvel films came out. Do you understand what I mean? You're not looking for the road man that...
We weren't even doing
Shut
it.
up. Shut your... Why are you not lying for?
We like
Do not
Pretty Boys.
lie. You like Pretty Boys?
We did.
It's the pretty boy.
There was
did.
never a pretty...
In
No.
school days, yeah.
There was, I don't
Unfortunately.
believe you. I believe there was Pretty Boy maybe for a period of time, like a genuine looking guy. Not
Yes.
now. Genuine when he was younger.
When
right?
we were younger, yeah.
But there was a period of time where that road man that had a bit of edge to him, you were like, you know what, there's something about him. Yeah, it's called crime.
Never had that urge.
Never.
Never.
Don't remember that moment?
No.
Why are you not lying for the cameras?
Anybody that knows us, we've been friends in school, right?
Okay. Yeah,
So
we have,
anybody
we have.
that knows us will know that we're...
You wanted the LL Cool J licking his lips kind of greasy head guy. Is that what you wanted?
Yep.
The guy who had waves naturally in his head.
Yeah.
Okay,
80s
cool.
Babies, that's what we was watching. That's what we
All right. Well, though I was neither of them too. I weren't the pretty boy and I weren't like the road guy. So for me, unless you sat there and go, "Ooh, I want a guy that in my 40s would be reasonable because you have a decent credit score and have a knowledgeable understanding of things that are needed to get be successful, or at least to keep yourself nice and steady, a responsible guy." You're not looking at that in your 20s. So for me, when I got on stage, just being a bit feisty, a bit cheeky or funny. I mean, you'll notice as well, pretty guy or not, a guy that can make you laugh also helps,
It's attractive,
right?
of course.
So you go on stage and then that starts to happen where you start to get attention. From early, I realised as much as you get the attention, I don't want it because I still want to be the geeky guy.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
You didn't want...
You
all
wanted to
of the
continue
attention,
on
just
this
maybe a little
lifestyle
bit.
of being the geek?
Well, no, all right, you like the attention, but after a year or two, whatever it is, you're like... you get attention from the people that then also go, all right, show me you are the pretty guy who's got a bit of little edge to him. And so I'm like, nah, I'll play PlayStation if you want, or something silly. How about a game of Mario Kart? I don't know. So after a while, you start to realize as much as that's appealing, you get the attention, and then it feels up and down because you get the attention. Sometimes it's the attention you want, sometimes it's not. But also, it's a job of validation. Equally, when you can get the attention of being funny, you also get attention for not being funny. Do you see what I'm saying? And when you're learning your craft, you're not always going to be amazing every time you go on stage. 12 years in, I can survive a death if that happens, and it hasn't happened in a long time. Not because I'm sitting there going, I'm amazing, I'm great, but there's a mechanic to comedy where even if it isn't the best of shows, you know how to make it at least a good show for them.
Yeah.
You may not be the best in the lineup, but you're going to still give them something where they go, it was all right, you know, because sometimes that can happen.
Yeah.
But when you're starting off, or when you're in the first few years, you don't know how to make sure you guarantee a great show. So it's a job of validation. Everyone, like, I don't know what other jobs that you may have done in your lives, but if they're jobs where you have to just tick boxes and make sure you hit a certain target, once you hit that target, no one can tell you, I don't like how you did your job, because the job was the target. If I didn't make you laugh, that's subjective. People may not find me funny, but that's the point. I'm not here ticking boxes. I have to go on the stage and go, all right, you who's paid to see me, the ticking box for me is, are you laughing? And easily they could have a bad day and not enjoy you, or they could have a great day but just didn't like you either. You then feel like, oh God, I'm not getting validated enough, and it does have its ups and downs. It takes a long time to.
It's not easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Easy at all.
It's like, you know, we go on social media and you tell like people, you got children.
Yeah.
So you tell your kids who may be on socials, like, or starting to go on socials, you tell them, look, listen, don't care what other people think, you are beautiful and so on. But they are telling themselves, no, I got to look pretty like this person or attractive like that. With my job, it's no, I have to appease how people exactly.
That's your role.
So
and because they're paying their money as well, I suppose you feel
Exactly.
obligated to make sure that job is done.
Just a bit more.
This is it. You enjoy it. I love comedy. It's just sometimes it can, as a human, it can be quite tiring because you are sitting there going, all right, let's make these people laugh. And so so it does have its ups and downs, but the job itself is amazing. It's amazing. Especially when you're on a good run, you're in your groove. It's a great job to do. Same way like when you're a group of friends, you make them laugh, and it's like you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
On a normal basis.
Yeah.
So when you're up on that stage, you get a buzz from the crowd as well, won't you, to continue and keep going if you've got a good crowd?
Oh yeah, definitely. But you also have to come off.
But what about if you have a bad crowd?
I enjoy a bad crowd now more than I did when I was younger.
You would do.
Yeah, a bad crowd.
More resilient now, aren't you, as you get older?
Exactly. And also you prefer the challenges. An easy crowd is great, but what do you learn from it?
Yeah.
Sometimes if you can go in the room, there are comedians that I've seen go on and the crowd is like a bit rocky with them, but their style of comedy might not be as loud or energetic, and because you're not giving them energy, they're not going to give you any back. Then you go on with your energy and they're like, the crowd are like, oh, we're awake now. And there's something more satisfying about that challenge than just having a good crowd all the time.
Yeah, because I suppose with having a bad crowd, you just think, okay, I'm going to test myself now and see how well I can do this job.
Yeah, you get stronger with a crowd like that.
Makes sense.
Different.
Yeah.
It is.
So
I don't think I could do that, you know.
I don't think I could.
People say this all the time, but
Because it seems like a highly pressurized. You know when you say you work for a company and you're at the top of the company and you feel like you've got pressures all over the place.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really highly pressurized.
But that happens in any job, but after a period of time, you get used to. You understand how that industry or that field works, and like, could you cut someone's hair? Would you be scared to like give a guy a good shape up and not push his hairline back?
Shape up, you'd get a shape.
But would you be confident at not pushing his hairline back?
No.
See, it's the same thing. But I mean, you'll probably line it up. He start looking like he's got an M in his head, right? Yeah. You don't want to do that, but you get scared of that stuff because, like, what if I mess up? Yeah. But after a while, barbers probably felt the same way at the beginning, and then they just get comfortable with it. Do you know what I mean? I think that's with anything.
Yeah, but you see the thing about appearance.
Yeah.
When you've got a job that relies on your skill to help somebody's appearance, that to me is pressure.
Yeah.
That example you've just used, no, too much.
Really?
Too much pressure.
Yeah, because
I think I'd rather do the barber than
go on stage.
Somebody's appearance. I'd rather go on stage.
Serious. Public speak. Well, you guys are on a platform now where you're going to have to do this at some point anyway in front of a large audience. Yeah. How are you going to feel about that then?
Some point. We've got less than 6 weeks.
Is it 6 weeks now?
Yes.
Okay.
And we will be upstairs.
So how are you going to do that then?
I don't think I mind because I feel like that feels a bit much now. You get me on you because it does feel like comfort zone.
Exactly. See, you get used to it.
See, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think we should take this opportunity to tell the people them actually.
Go on, tell them.
We are at MJ's Bar and Grill.
Here ID Rum.
We are. So we're here on Bridge Street in Wednesbury. Join us on the 3rd of December. We've got a live podcast here at MJ's.
Yes, we do.
And the event is full of special guests and ourselves, of course. Sponsored by ID Rum. Also, we are going to have an absolute blast. Music, food, games, entertainment.
Everything.
Nice.
You know, special guests, Raising Boys to Men will be here. Ginger J will be here doing some comedy as well and hosting.
And we have Kamar in the house doing a little bit of a performance.
Nice.
His own, so it's going to be a good look at it.
It really is.
Where can I get their tickets? Where can I get their tickets?
Oh, on Eventbrite.
Eventbrite, yeah.
You're good at this, you know.
Just double checking, yeah. Remind me, what's the date again? What day?
3rd of December.
3rd of December,
My
lovely.
birthday weekend, so...
Oh, swear down.
Yes.
When's your birthday, though?
7th of December.
Okay, I'm the week before you.
Are you?
29th of November, yeah.
Oh, wow.
How young are you going to be?
Huh?
How young?
41.
You're in your boy. I would never have said that. I would have said you're about the same age as me, both of you.
Really?
Well, how old are you?
I'm 35 on my next birthday.
Oh, okay.
35.
I'm 40. Michelle's
40,
turned
41.
Yeah.
You see black faces, boy. Yeah.
Black don't
I didn't
crack.
know that. Oh, scene. Okay, fair dues.
I feel it though, don't get twisted.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't look it, and that's the important thing.
Sometimes we do feel it, but you know what? We push on. We continue on. Innit?
Hey, you don't look it, and at least
Thank you
you
very
got
much.
that, right? Even if you feel it, you don't look it. Yeah. Cool.
I feel like we need a shot. We haven't got any shots. have we?
Yes,
haven't
we
had
need a shot.
We need to actually experience a little bit of ID when we're not sure if we're able to get a shot. Is Michael around?
Shots.
Yes, I feel like it's that time.
Yeah, so we usually do offer our guests
Okay.
a taste of our ID rum.
Yes. I'll take a shot.
So
of
that
one.
you can, yeah.
I'll take a shot of
So
one,
we've
yeah.
got 2 flavours. We've
Okay.
got mango and passion fruit.
Okay.
And strawberry and lime.
Strawberry and lime.
That's
straight
cool.
away.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause
I like mango and
That's my
passion fruit as a
favourite.
drink sometimes,
Yeah.
but for of the two of them, strawberry and lime I'm going to go for.
That's my favourite
It
one
is
as
nice
well.
though.
And it's these
Beautiful.
bottles here, yeah?
Yes. it
Yes.
is.
Perfect.
So these are the presentation
That's the
bottles.
strawberry and lime
But
at the
this
front.
is the mango and passion fruit bottle.
Okay.
That's the strawberry and lime. So those are just the presentation ones.
Look how spark. Look at this, man. Pure colour and sparkle on this, man.
Yeah.
All right, we
It's
put
for
that
the camera,
back
man.
there.
It's for the camera.
There you
But that
go.
one's the...
Oh, here's a
You wanted
shot.
strawberry and lime, is that? Yeah, thank you.
All right, lovely. What flavours do you prefer? Mango, passion fruit, or strawberry and
I
lime?
prefer the
Strawberry and
strawberry and lime.
Strawberry and lime, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I feel like the strawberry lines, because it's sweeter, actually. Just down
Oh,
there.
yeah, if it's sweet stuff, then yeah. I got to kind of cut that down, though, because too much sweet stuff now,
Yeah, you're telling me.
especially at 41.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yes. Tell us
Everything,
about it.
the
It's
sweetness just goes to all the wrong places and it stays there. It's hard,
the
man.
wrong places.
It's hard out here.
Here's the passion and mango,
Lovely.
Yeah.
and then that's the strawberry.
So you want the strawberry.
That's passion mango.
Yeah.
All right, then strawberry and lime. Yeah, I'll take this one here.
Go.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
You give me 2 shots for?
Yeah, the different flavours.
I have to try both of them.
Yeah, I think
You know I got to drive to the show after this, yeah?
It's cool. It's
But
all I wanted.
you're all right in that car. That car will protect you. You'll be fine.
It does drive
It's all
itself.
that.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Where's your shots? Hold on, you're going to get me liquored up and you're going to drink that as
I
well?
was a bit like,
You can't be having me drinking on my own, you know?
we don't get a
We
shot.
feel like we need to have a little toast.
Yeah.
Let's have a toast.
I thought you were trying to set me up, you know. I've seen a couple of podcasts where they get their interviewees drunk and then next thing you know,
Don't do
We
that.
offer shots.
we start
don't
talking
do
about
that.
stuff. I used to check this girl in Birmingham. I don't know. Just
If you want to
getting
talk
me
now, you
lagging.
can.
No. I'm a virgin, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you said this earlier. You was talking about your virgin. We proper like nearly fed into it as well.
Yeah.
Well, I was offended by that.
It was the serious
Why?
face. Why?
I was, because as much as I'm great, I'm thankful I acted it out well. There should be a part of you going, there's no way someone as pretty
I
and as
did think
handsome
that.
as you.
I did think that.
None of that. But I said virgin. She went, I see it. You're taking the piss. You can't do that. That was upsetting me, you know. You know when someone agrees with something too quick, like you said.
His face was so serious.
But if you said,
Oh.
you said 41, yeah? Straight away, we're going to be 41 on the next birthday, right? You said that. If I went, yeah, you would feel like, wait a minute, hold on, give me some slack and say I look young. Exactly. As soon as I said I'm a virgin.
How many more shots you girls want?
Oh, I'll just have a bit of the
that's fine,
strawberry and
that's fine,
lime,
that's
Kev.
fine.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Nice one, brother.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin, have a shot as well, man.
Uncle
Uncle
Kev.
Kev. Uncle Kev, you have a shot as well.
Should have a shot.
But are you going to have a shot? There you go. But yeah, all
Party
right.
together.
now.
What are we cheersing?
Are we waiting for Kev?
To your show this evening. That you have a good show.
Okay. Kev's going to join us on the shots
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
going to join us.
Come on, there you go. Watch him line it up with water, right? And drink it like a bad man and then make us look bad for
Come
it.
on, Kevin.
Let's go.
All right, come on, Kev.
Oh.
Uncle Kev, big up yourself. No worries, man. Thank you very much. What are we
And
shouting?
this is Uncle Kev. This is
Big up
the
Uncle Kev, ladies and
Face
gentlemen.
behind
Yes.
ID Rum, guys.
Come on.
IG Rum man.
Guys, cheers.
All right, cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right, we shot this.
Oh dear.
Woo! It's nice. That is nice.
It is, isn't it?
Strawberry lime one's nice.
Yes.
I'm gonna have the mango passion a little bit, but that strawberry lime one is nice.
Oh, mango and passion.
That one looks good.
What? And Kev.
All flavours coming soon.
Amen. All right, man. I love
We
it.
like to see.
Love it. Big up, Kev.
Thank you very much, Uncle Kev.
All right. What are we talking about? Let's have a
Right then, what I wanted to ask,
sure.
I was thinking about, your crowds and how you prepare your material.
Okay.
So, do you kind of prepare your material for your crowd?
Nah.
Or you don't?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I think if you do that, all right. So there's some people do, some people don't. When you say prepare your material for your crowd, are you saying do I write material or do I have like
Yeah, do you
was
have
that freestyle?
Yeah. Do you have written stuff and you think, okay,
I have
I'm going
writ-
to Birmingham, this might appeal to the Brummie lot?
No, you have references that you make that way, but your material, if your material is widely diverse enough, you don't have to change it for that crowd particularly. Your references, yeah, I might talk about being in the hood, and then reference a hood area, depending on what city I'm in.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
tailoring it, but not the whole material, just your
Little
references.
bits
Yeah.
and bobs, that makes sense.
But the joke in itself, if you talk about being a parent, parents live everywhere.
Yes.
Talk about hating your work.
That's true.
You hate your work everywhere. You talk about traffic, or you talk about things that are international in terms of like, for example, we're in the UK, all the stuff going on in the government that we make jokes about and
We're
laugh
going to
at.
lick on that, so.
We all feel that, right?
Yeah, we do.
So if you start tweaking and just going, let me change my material for that city, you rob people of the opportunity of laughing at some of your great stuff that you've written for somewhere else.
Yes.
But actually they can relate to it.
But don't you find that sometimes some cities are harder to please? Like London must differ from us Northerners a little bit. Just a little
Maybe
bit.
a little bit, but not enough for you to change your material completely. Some of the biggest divides you have is not necessarily location. That's
Yeah.
one, but the biggest ones that we have in our head is race and age.
Okay.
Right? I think there was a time where people felt that if you're performing in front of a crowd that looked like you, it's easy, it's comfortable. You can throw certain references in there which you know is your own people.
Take it, that's not true.
Hard.
It does work.
It does.
I'm Caribbean, so if I'm in front of Caribbean people, there's
part
certain
of
things,
Caribbean?
Jamaica and Cuba.
Oh,
So
okay.
I could throw a couple of those things to people and say whatever I'm saying, and they're like, yeah. Well, there's times I've been in an audience and it's Jamaican people, they'll get it.
Yeah.
Times where there's been people who are Latin American, and I could say something to them in Spanish, they'll get it. It's little references like that are specific to them.
Yeah.
The beef of the joke is going to be about what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That doesn't change. But we always have it in our mind that we should change our material to suit them.
Yeah.
But you also rob the people the opportunity of understanding who you are if your material is very much tailored towards something that's your experience that you want them to learn about. So I have a joke when I talk about my experience with my gran getting COVID. My gran's an old Caribbean woman. But if I only talk to Caribbean people about that, they'll be like, oh, it's great, we get it. But there are people outside of that culture that either have similar grandparents that would have acted the same way,
Yes.
or people that don't understand it in terms of their own relativity, but you can show them what it's like to have a parent like that, and they're like, all of a sudden, is that what your grands are like? That is
so
hilarious.
You're then educating
You
everybody
draw
on
them
your culture.
exactly.
That's true.
You bring them into your experience. You don't just take it out because they won't get it because they don't have a grand from the Caribbean. You go, well, they don't have one. Let me show them what they're like. Same joke delivered in a very similar way. But for those who don't get it, you don't get comfortable with the idea that they just get what you're saying instantly.
Yeah.
You be able to deliver a joke where you go, because this is what they can be like,
Yeah.
and then you show what they can be like.
Okay.
So yeah.
Makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does, doesn't it?
It does.
Hmm.
Do you think comedy's changed? Like, is it harder now, or was it harder when you first came out? Social media, there's a lot going on. Because I
There
know that
is.
you have to work a lot harder now. I see a lot of people having to get in front of the camera and do a lot for social media, TikTok.
That's
everything.
Comedy hasn't. I don't think comedy has changed itself. I think fame has. You still go to a comedy club. You still do your 20 minutes. You still write jokes. There's still the mechanics of humor that are very similar. But in terms of being popular or getting or making a lot of money, it's the industry around it that's changed. But comedy in itself as an entity hasn't.
Yeah.
So making people laugh is not It hasn't changed. Jokes are jokes, funny is funny. References that we may find humorous to us are going to be references that we find humorous. When you're looking at the industry, that's definitely changed. People don't have to even leave their house to get comedy now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Social media,
Yeah.
streaming platforms that you can see specials on. Those have made it easier and harder depending on who you are as a person. Some people don't like social media, then they ain't going to use it, and that's fine. But then that means that you're limiting how many people outside of your immediate catchment, i.e. where you go and perform,
Yeah.
you're limiting people from seeing you,
Yeah.
which now has become something that is expected of you to do. Put stuff on social media.
Yeah.
Let me see what you're up to. Let me see who you are. Make me laugh before I even think about buying a ticket to come and see you.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's where it's changed on that front. But comedy in itself, this is where you see some of the people that are social media stars that get the fame really quick from doing socials, and then they try to do comedy afterwards. Or they may have only started doing comedy and socials at the same time. Socials has taken off quicker because that's the nature of how social media works. They might go, I'm going to do a comedy show, and they go and do the comedy show, and they're not as strong because comedy itself hasn't changed.
Yeah.
They still need to work on building that bit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a guy that's, I don't know. You see, like the boxers, like Jake Paul and all of that, those social media stars. They might be able to hold a quick boxing match with some people, but when you put them in a ring with like real heavyweight boxers, they're going to get thump up by these guys.
Of course they are.
Because they haven't put in the graft that these boxers who have got a long tenure in boxing can do. They have the hype to pull in people,
Yeah.
but in terms of delivering on a boxing match, unless they're buying out the guy saying, look, listen, here's an extra $1 million, fall over when I basically tap your shoulder. Unless they're doing that stuff, you're not going to out-defeat somebody who's putting time and work in the gym a lot longer.
Yeah.
You just can draw in more people.
Yeah.
And it's trying to find a good balance of the two where you have put in enough work to be a great comic, and then you've also put in enough time to market yourself so people know who you are. It's a balance of the two that you need to
Yeah,
find.
do need the balance.
Because there's a difference, isn't there, in the UK? I feel like with the UK and like America, comedy seems to be a bit different from that point of view.
Can be.
Like, because it just seems like the Americans, they go into the acting, they seem to be really big in the acting scene.
Yeah.
Doing different things. It doesn't seem like there's much opportunity. I don't know from your point of view, but it doesn't
No,
seem
it's
like
true.
I'm seeing as much comedians doing the acting as there should be.
Yes.
Well, there's a
that's
lot
true,
more.
you know.
In America, you have to. I mean, it's a much bigger place
Yeah.
as a whole, as a United States. So where we might have London, Birmingham, Manchester as like the larger cities, and then you have ones that are a little bit smaller but still got their own vibe going on. Milton Keynes, Leeds, Bristol. They have those in entire states, and in those states, like New York alone. New York State alone has New York City, has Buffalo, has Syracuse. It's got so many places that are like 2-3 hours apart.
Yeah.
And that you can go to and do gigs. So I could do like a week in New York City in Manhattan. I could then even go and do like 3 nights in one of the boroughs that are a bit further out, or even just a little bit more upstate. I could do Manhattan. I could then go to Brooklyn, and I can go to Staten Island I don't even think they've got clubs up. Of course they do, but yeah, you could go. You could do that around in smaller, and that would be like traveling north, south, east, west London to do shows. Then you can go to, like I said, if you went to Buffalo, which is right at the top of New York, you can go up there, which is like me driving from here not from here, from let's say London to go to like Manchester, and I could spend a weekend in Manchester, or you could spend a weekend in Buffalo, and so on, right? But that one state is like the UK or half of the UK, and then they've got 50 odd states that you can go and do that with. So you have a lot more opportunity to get up and work. You can travel around a lot more. You could spend 8-9 months on the road before you have to go back home, living in hotels, just doing comedy.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, because we were just talking about the States, how much of the States have you worked around then?
So this is the hardest. This is the bit I haven't. I'll tell
you
you
haven't?
what.
You seem to know so much.
I've done loads of places around the world.
Yeah.
The States, I was booked to go.
Yeah. Let me guess.
June,
COVID.
July 2020. I had a month off booked. It was a week and a half in New York and then a week in Los Angeles, right? And if I had time, I have friends in the middles that I was going to fly to that I could have just gone and seen if I had the time to do so. I saved up. I said, "Hey, put this to the side. I just wanted to go and learn firsthand." Reason I know this stuff is because of just asking and researching before going, what can I do? Can I go out there and do some and they're like, yeah, come through and so on. Didn't have the opportunity to go out there because of COVID. And then afterwards, I know it's just everyone's answering.
Corona, what have you done?
And then afterwards, I flew to do comedy in Kurdistan in Iraq, right? This was earlier on this year. So again, I was going to go, let me go to New York again just to do a week there and then come back and then later on go to LA. Because I went to Kurdistan, which is in Iraq, I now can't go to America until I get a visa. Not an ESTA. The ESTA is the one that you just do online, right? The one to say I'm coming into the country. Now, because I flew to Iraq, they don't allow you to go out there unless you have a full visa. They got to do a checkup on you at the embassy. So my appointment's due next week. So yeah, it pushed me back again from going out there.
Good luck with that.
Listen, I went everywhere. I went Canada twice to kind of go, well, let me go somewhere which is near enough that I can go and do loads of different places to learn and understand. Just until I can go over to the States. States isn't like the be or end all, but it's just, I want to throw me everywhere. I've done loads of places in the Middle East. I've done loads of Europe. I've done Canada several times, but just going literally to the United States can't do until I get the visa. It's only just because I went to do comedy in Iraq. So
How was it in Iraq?
It's fine. It's just like performing to expats. Loads of people that just live there because they've gone there to work. And where I was in Kurdistan, so the reason why there's an issue, Kurdistan is its own state, but it's not recognized as its own state worldwide. They're fighting for their own status, right? Problem is, until they have that, you could have other places that go, yeah, but you're in Iraq. That's what America's issue is.
Okay.
But where I was, a place called Erbil. Erbil is a beautiful city. It's one of the safest places in the world. It was nice because it was a lot of the. It's kind of like what I think Dubai was when in the late 90s.
Okay.
Where Dubai was on the build up and come up. That's what Erbil feels like right now. Luxury hotels, but around the outskirts are all the people that are from the Kurdish people that are there, that are maybe just had their own businesses and small places and shops and living and surviving, as they always have done. But it's going to definitely get built up. You can see like a lot of the apartment buildings that are building up, and a lot of the hotels that are building up, and the luxury hotels that are out there, very similar to what you saw in Dubai. So it's a nice place. It's really, really nice. The food was amazing. The people were really, really nice. The performing for the expats was great. It was just a bunch of people that from all over the world, a lot from America and a lot from South Africa that were there, maybe teaching English or they're working at like in the hospitals or in schools, and it was cool, man. It was just
Erbil's on the bucket list then, if it's
definitely
the cheaper version of Dubai.
About the same.
Great food, luxury hotel sounds all right.
It's definitely a bit cheaper than Dubai, because Dubai has now got the whole name of Dubai on top of it. Yeah, but it's give it a few more years when they finish some more of the stuff that they're building up there, and it will be another luxury destination to go to. But right now, it's a lot cheaper than Dubai. It's definitely on the way to being that over the next, I'd say, 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
Nice. So,
Thanks for that.
It's cool, but just know if you're going to go there, you have to go get yourself.
You can't go America.
You have to get a visa.
I can't go unless you get a visa.
And so I get it, because there's loads of places on the list they can't. If I remember, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Yemen. I think Sudan's on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
North Korea. There's a few places that are on there for their own political reasons. I'm not getting into the politics. That's their business, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully they'll get their own status, which means that it won't be an issue to go over there. So
Wow, as you know, we're a podcast and we like to chat on different subjects.
Yes,
and things that
we
are
do.
going
talk
on.
to me, go on.
So I feel like there's just so much going on in the news at the moment.
So much.
I feel like it'd be really good to like touch on a few people.
Go on then.
Just get your take on them.
Drop some names.
So I think we have to drop yay.
Yay.
Okay. Yay.
Kanye West. Okay.
Because he's been going on with a lot lately. He's had a lot.
He's
to
always
say,
going on with a lot.
and
Big fact.
He's just doing the most, and you know, at one minute they cancelled him, and they haven't, and they have, and they haven't, and they have, and they haven't. What is your take on Kanye as a whole? Like,
he's not well mentally. I think he's definitely struggling, and I think that a lot of my comedy, especially over the past year and a half, and a lot of my rhetoric on socials is about dealing with your mental health. I think that two things are happening. One, he's had loads of people around him emboldening him to say what you're saying is fine, but actually there's a lot of things that he's saying is very contradictory. There's how he's expressing himself shows that he hasn't really got a grasp of even his own rhetoric. He's speaking and then he jumps from here to there. And because he's got money, you've got loads of people talking about, it's just genius. You don't understand his wave. No, it's definitely not. It doesn't take much to sit down and listen to someone and go, this sounds a bit disjointed, especially if one day you're speaking this and another day you're speaking that. He needs help. And he's got loads of yes people around him. And secondly, with dealing with your mental health, there has to be a point where you go, I want the help. It's sometimes a hard place to get to. We've all been down. How down we have been differs per person. But you have to get to a point where you go, I want to lift myself up, or I want to accept that I can't, and I have to look elsewhere to get help. And he's been spiraling for a long time now.
His mum, I think, when he
I think when he lost his mum,
that went downhill from there.
big time, you can see how badly he spiraled. And I think when you spiral, but then you have everything else in your life going well. You're rich, you've got family, kids, you are in the limelight, you seem to be popping off in every way that you want to. He always seemed, from he was young, like the guy who felt that he was outside and awkward of the status quo. Even in rap, he was one of the backpack hip-hop artists. He wanted to be seen as a rapper, but everyone took him as a producer. And then when he did get his recognition, he was very much, see, I told you I could do it. And then everyone goes, all right, we'll respect you and show that we love you and we'll give you time. But listen, even that has an effect where you feel like no one rates you.
True.
You feel like no one rates you, and then all of a sudden everybody rates you, and all of a sudden you don't trust everybody.
That is so true.
Because you heard the same people.
Same people going,
you
he never gave me no time. In terms of Kanye and his friends, you say you think he doesn't have.
No, because he's done too much for him to have
real
good
friends
people holding him down.
See, this is the thing. If you have, I don't know if you guys have had like a member of your family that is either broken down mentally really badly or maybe an addict or anything like that. Sometimes their actions, you have to almost recontextualize them, and as painful as they can be to you, you have to take a step back and go, that's not you talking, that's the alcohol. And if you really want to try and help them, you have to learn to build up a thick skin against it. And it's hard. It gets very, very hard after a period of time, but if you genuinely want to help them through, you got to put up with all that shit that they give you.
I've been there, done that.
Heard
There you
people
go.
say that.
And it's hard. That's why we often can't do it. That's why people have therapy. That's why people go to see someone who's a specialist, because it's not personal. You have to try and be able to see through all of the crap that they give to you, not realizing it's not them that's doing it. It's the alcohol. It's the illness. It's all of that
he
stuff.
went away for a bit, so something happened at some point. He went away and he's come back, and it's just worse.
Well, he's come back on 10, hasn't he? And it's got to the point now where he's actually lost his deals with Balenciaga
dropped
and
Gap don't want to work with no one.
Vogue as well.
Yes.
Vogue have dropped him as well. So
And he looks visually not that fantastic.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't look like he's well. And again, it's hard to be a yes man. I mean, a no man when you need to be a no man to someone, especially when they're that rich and they're the ones paying you. It's tricky.
Messing up your own livelihood, aren't you? So
a lot of people may feel away about trying to pull him up and say, yo, because all it takes is for one of his people, like his assistant, to go, yo, you are messing up right now. Well, you're fired.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And he's got children as well, so it's a case of, making sure he stays healthy for them.
I think he doesn't know that he doesn't seem like he knows that he isn't.
Not at all.
No, he doesn't.
Not at all. Definitely not. But that's where it's like, where do you go with somebody like that? Because he has a strong personality.
Yeah.
Not going to be the easiest person to tell anything to.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
On top of that, with the money, it's a bit much. But at the same time, he is going too far. I feel like Kim should be picking up the phone.
Well, if I saw my kid's father going through that,
but that's what you would
want
do
to help
as a normal day-to-day
because
mother and
but
father.
we're parenting.
But if your kid's father started doing stuff like posting your address up or threatening to kill your new boyfriend,
okay,
do you see what I'm saying? There's a part of you that you probably have tried to reach out, and then there's also the fact that you have a brand an image that you have to be very careful he doesn't destroy because it's now your livelihood.
That's true.
I'm not saying I'm caping for Kim. I don't do that at all. But I can understand why she may make the decision to go, I've tried. I tried when we were together.
Yeah.
When we broke up, I tried to some degree. Maybe she did and maybe she didn't. I can't speak for that.
No.
But I don't know how much she has already tried to reach out for the sake of the kids, and he's gone, no. When he started threatening her boyfriend at the time,
Yeah.
even though that relationship never made sense, Pete Davidson didn't make sense to me, right? When he started going like after him, you know what? Your new partner, right? Are you with someone or not? Or is
Not
it
at the moment.
Okay, cool. So, but yesterday you was your kid's father starts threatening to kill that guy. You're gonna be sitting there like this. You're gonna be angry at him.
Yeah, of course.
It's gonna be hard to go. Let me come to you in love because I know you're struggling right now. I don't know. It's tricky.
But if you know what they're like, you know their personality.
Because I've known him for 20 years, I would think that's not him.
Yeah, but then
so I would want to help him.
if you and the kid's father are split up and he's just always been that way, you knew he was going to be that way. Like every time you got a man, he's acting up like this.
Yeah.
Then at some point you are going to have certain conversations, or after a while you are going to distance yourself from because you're going to be fed up of having the same conversations.
There's no right or wrong way with if Kim should be helping or not because again we don't know the ins and outs of what was going on even when they were together.
This is it.
That's true.
So it's a hard one. Someone has to talk to him.
Yeah.
So but that's
It's their business.
Ooh. We also wanted to touch on what's going on in the political world
Talk
as
to
well.
me. Do you want me to give me a name?
You know the name.
Yep.
Do you trust her?
Well, she's gone. I don't have to anymore.
God, exactly. And it's just like, how quick did you come and go, Liz?
Liz Truss did a quick stint in number 10.
45 days.
I blame Britain big time.
Yeah.
I blame. Reason being, of the two candidates at the time, Sunak was definitely a hell of a lot more qualified, but they weren't ready for a brown prime minister.
Nah.
They just weren't. They were definitely going to take somebody who they themselves thought would be better suited to represent Britain on a optics basis. Yeah. But I'm not saying Sunak is 100%.
Love the way you put that. Love the way you put that.
I'm not saying Sunak is the best candidate out there for prime minister. However, between the two of them, he had a hell of a lot more strategies in place that seemingly looked like they would be a hell of a lot more conducive to our growth, or at least maintenance during this difficult time. They did not want him there because, again, Britain just definitely wasn't ready.
No.
This is how bad it is.
Agree.
This is how bad it is, right? Of all the names that have been thrown forward of who could jump in right now, you don't call back Boris to
Why would you call back Boris? No, it's confusing.
But I will say this: I didn't like him, but however,
he hung in there.
Boris is somebody that was relentlessly stern about the things that he said he was going to do, and a man makes a decision and says, "This is what we're going to do," and then goes and does. Like Liz, easily after like 5-10 days, someone would tell her, "Listen, don't do that." She'll go, "You know what? Maybe I'll backtrack now." That's not stable. That's not stability right there. So, I guess but it's ridiculous to me that you look back at the prime minister who resigned to then look at the next one who's resigned and go, come back. Come back. Because you don't want to look at someone like a Sunak or whoever else might jump and throw their hat in the ring. Yep. But again, this is me now being kind of neutral in this sense. Let's be honest, none of us would want to hand in our CV for that job right now. You're mad. You could put me up in front of England right now. Forget how I look. You think you could put me up in front of England right now and then ask me to help fix this? You're mad. We are mashed down.
There's a lot going on here.
There's so much going on. Like there was, I had a bit of sympathy at the beginning of the COVID situation for Boris because he handed in his CV, said, "Make me prime minister," right? COVID come in, he never signed up for this job. How do you handle a world pandemic? Everyone here could say, yeah, we got opinions and what he should have done. And the thing, Britain, I'll be real with you, right? British people, we are sometimes the worst people to try and manage. Because at the beginning...
You think?
Big time. At the beginning, we'll like, this is, I remember at the beginning, right, when he said we're closing schools down, everybody, why? Where are my kids going to go? How you mean? So I got to look after my kids at home. Are you mad? I need to have no, I need my kids to be at school. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Then my man said, all right, we're opening schools up. What about my kids' safety? You're trying to give them COVID.
Yeah.
If you're telling me the virus is infectious, how is it my kids could go into, do you see what I mean? We are difficult to deal with as a whole, as a society.
Can't please the UK
You can't
people
please
then.
us.
That's why I
right?
said, fuck it, I'm going to go have a party.
This is it. I need to de-stress, man. Someone bring me the Pims, please. So yeah, I'm not sitting here caping for him, but I will say this: we are difficult. England people are contrarian and rebellious by nature,
That's
right?
true.
We're the only people I know that go around the world and expect every other country to have the rules we have here.
We have.
Over there.
Why don't you do this?
Listen,
Why don't you
watch
do
how much
that?
man get locked down in Qatar for going out naked in front of the flag.
Oh my God,
every time we
it's
score a
terrible,
goal.
you know.
Watch how much
It's
man.
not gonna
listen,
work.
A bag of men are gonna do a bird in Qatar,
Oh my
right?
God, it's true.
Trust me. Let a man bun a spliff in Qatar. See
Yeah.
what happened, yeah?
Oh,
Anyone who's married to a footballing man and you know he's going,
Trust me.
well, just
You're
say
gonna-
goodbye.
Listen, I saw a video on
Goodbye.
Twitter. I saw a video on Twitter today, and it had some guy start naked, right? Little pee hanging out and everything. You can't say penis. That sounds like he got size. This thing look inverted. I had to check if it was a man or a woman. This person was standing, holding the flag like this on a big table, just shaking what he didn't have, right? And he's in front of everybody, yeah? And all I thought is, let my man go to Qatar and do the same thing.
nah.
Let my man go, hey, big man, come here. Done. He'll be out by the next World Cup. I'm telling you.
A lot of them.
This is the thing, but we have an arrogance when we go to different countries and we disrespect other places thinking that what we think is right by rules.
Yeah.
All right. So imagine in our own country where we are so laxy-daisy with some of the rules that we have. I'm not saying that we should be like a dictatorship. What I'm saying is if you have a rule,
Yeah.
you enforce a rule.
Yeah.
We are so used to being let off and, you know, like if I went, you pee outside, you're supposed to get a fine, you know, or you're supposed to get cited up for doing something like that if you go pee in public. It's indecent exposure.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the other thing I can't remember what it is, but an indecent or lewd act or whatever it is,
Indecent
right?
smell.
A police officer will see me and go, brother, put it away, man. And that's the end of it.
Yeah, it's true.
So we,
It's too much hassle.
this is it. So by nature, we're like, oh, we'll get away with it. It's nothing. How much, I'm going to draw you lot out, yeah? How many times in the 40 years of your life, right? How many times have you lot said, boy, there's no one, I can't even do it at home. Let's go for a drive.
Anyhow.
No. Come on. No, come on. How much times you lot said, me and him, we can't, let's,
On a few occasions.
boy, the car's comfortable. This is an SUV, we got space, you know.
Yeah.
How much times have you done that, yeah?
Yeah.
And even just to christen it.
You have to christen the car, you're dirty, you know.
Of
Listen.
course.
Now, don't touch my car with them fruits. With my faux leather seats. Don't touch so everything just glistens. Don't touch my car with that.
Your shit probably recording it anyway.
My car has romance mode as well.
Oh
I'll tell you
my
that.
God.
Really?
Yeah, it does. It puts like a flame, like fireplace on the screen. It plays like romantic music and it turns the heating on as well.
And how
Don't worry
you
about
know
that.
that?
I've never
How
tested
you
it.
know that?
Never tested it. So yeah, imagine you do that in your car, right?
Yeah.
If I know that police will pull up to your car, knock the window, say, aye, stop it. Go home. Don't do that, yeah? Go to Dubai.
I did the same thing.
Go to Dubai, park up on JBR, and you let me know, right? Listen, go even if it's not outdoors, go park up in the car park in the Mall of Emirates, yeah? And make you lot all have your crutches out in the air and start having fun in the car. You're not coming out of that place for like 2-3 years.
Oh my God.
Because the rules are enforced.
Yeah.
So where we have a leniency idea that we feel like we should be just let off, right? When you go out to places like that and they have their rules certain,
Yeah.
right? If you start acting up, their rules are enforced. You can't go, but I'm English, bruv. We don't care. You're on.
You're in our
the
turf,
UAE
mate.
right now.
You're on our land.
And that's why we feel it's okay to start talking and criticizing how things are run, because one, we're never happy with the rules that are set,
Nah.
and two, the amount of people that I know that were sitting there cussing the government about the rules that were set when it came to COVID. Same people going linking up with their friends as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
How much road parties I saw and stuff like that with people trying to do drink ups at their yard and it weren't their flipping bubble. So that's why for me, even though I'm not happy with how things have been run in Parliament, we as a public are not the easiest people to manage.
We're not helping.
We are unruly.
You're right.
We push back so much. So if I set one rule and then the first thing that will happen is everyone tells me the rule is unfair. And then once we go, all right, we lax up on the rule, they'll go, so why you put the rule there in the first place? The same people. So I can't criticize sometimes the things that they try to do But yeah, they need. Yeah, you know,
we don't want Boris back though.
No, we don't.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If he came back, I'll be here for the memes. Because that's the one thing he gave you every day.
Yeah.
Every time he went on good afternoon, everybody. What we're doing, we've got things, plans of action. We are so with Omicron.
You're so bad.
Like no, for real. When he listen, to save money when there's energy crisis, what you want to do is buy a kettle with the money you would save. Like, it's a meme every day with him.
That was funny.
It's a meme with him
you can't
every
take it
day.
seriously.
This is the thing, and that's the only reason I miss him is because as stupid as he was sometimes,
stupid things though.
he would be that person that you the next day you had a day of memes about it, and
so true.
it's some enjoyment.
Fucked up under his reign, there were so many people that messed up, and
Big
it's like
time.
I went to Boris and I told Boris. Boris knew everything. He knew every goddamn thing.
Big time. Listen, it's a. There was one of them that went to drive and go link his sighting, you know.
Oh yes.
Down in Devon or
yes.
something like that. I can't remember where it was.
Listen.
The man went to go and link his
They're breaking
sighting.
rules left, right, and centre.
But they go and tell Boris, may I go check this one, don't tell nobody.
Yeah, don't say nothing. But hold on, but if you lot were in power, money down, you lot would break the same rules as well. The same rule. I guarantee you, right? Power corrupts. That's what it is. We all criticize people with it, yeah? But make you lot be in charge of the system, right? I guarantee. Do you think you could be in Parliament, right? And they tell us tier system are gone, and you got to go back on television the next day and not call your hairdresser to line you up properly before you go on that podium,
what do you mean?
even though you're not supposed to go to.
Hairdresser will be my
Yeah.
boss.
Should be exactly.
Trust me, that'll
exactly.
be. But they will not be. They're not key workers. But yeah, you'll be like, no. But I still listen.
Hairdressers are key
These
workers.
braids
They are,
are
they're
braiding
very
right now.
important.
Yes.
Listen,
Okay.
Shelly. No, you can't say Shelly because Shelly. Yeah, I'm talking about. I'm thinking of something. I just picked another like name that I thought would work. But it's you. All right, I don't know. LaQuisha, listen, come here. LaQuisha, listen. The regrowth is regrowing. I need you to line up these braids again. I can't be at 10 Downing Street at the podium and I'm looking like this. That's what's
You're
gonna
actually
happen.
right.
No, it's
You lot would be
Honest.
abusing your powers. They'll be like, "Raw, why?"
During
a week or
lockdown,
something?
I missed my hairdresser.
Yeah.
I did.
I didn't.
Now imagine you got to go on television
You
every day.
didn't?
No.
Really? See,
saw
I
my
did.
head.
She sorts exactly. She didn't miss him. How are you gonna miss someone who's already around you? This is what I'm saying.
No,
so whilst we're criticizing them, we cannot pretend like we
I
would look
know,
at them and
I
go,
know.
you know what, Boris, you're an idiot. Yeah.
It's true.
They never went hairdressers though.
It's true. Boris definitely didn't go to the
They
hairdressers.
didn't even do Kwasi Kwarteng, but go carry. Nah, bro. Think of a black man that represent. Nah, I'm sorry.
Cameraman.
Nah, I'm sorry. Nah.
We got the whole soundman, cameraman
Nah,
crew just
that
busting up
man-
right about now.
Nah.
Oh Lord.
Nah. He looked like listen, you know the rough days you're at university, you're like, I'm just here to study. He looked like he was ready to do that and not actually be in the job he's supposed to be doing. That man looked rough and rugged, you know.
But my man's got a lot of kids. Like, he's out here doing his thing.
Kwarteng. Kwarteng or Boris? Kwarteng he can't have the
Boris.
baby. Oh!
I don't know about Kwarteng's
Kwarteng.
kids.
No,
I don't know about
Kwarteng. Boris, you breathe with that. You man. Kwarteng. Nah, no way. There's no way Kwarteng.
Boris both
Nah,
guys
nah,
are
nah.
doing his thing.
So Google somebody if Kwarteng's got Pitney, please. I know Boris has got a bag of them, but there's no way Kwarteng. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Nah. No disrespect, but listen. Black or white, no one's looking at Kwarteng and saying that's a bit of me. Nah,
Everybody
that's all
there.
needs a visa. There's no way anyone looked at Kwarteng and said that's a bit of me right now. Don't upset me. Nobody. Nobody. Listen, I was goofy looking when I was younger, but I worked Kwarteng in the back then. Right? Has he got kids?
Give me a second. Just do your thing. I'll get
Kwarteng ain't got no kids, man. Kwarteng. He's got a name that sounds like he's been doing action, innit?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like, innit? Man, I gave her the Kwarteng still. That's what it sounds like. He hasn't got none. Okay, he hasn't got none. I don't know him from no one. He ain't got none. If he does, the podcast is over.
Yeah.
We're at the end of it.
Yeah.
I know Alexander Boris the Fifel Johnson has got Pitney, right?
Yeah, all over the place.
You know that's his whole name?
Is it?
Alexander the Fifel Boris. No,
Fifel.
Alexander Boris the Fifel Johnson.
Wow.
His first name is
Fifel come
Alex.
from?
I don't know.
Fifel.
Imagine your first name is Alex and you say, you know what name I'm going to go by though? Boris.
I'm gonna go by Boris.
I'm
Why
going by
would you?
Alexander.
Where did he
Alexander
go with
Johnson. Huh?
And where does he get Boris from?
Boris is one of his middle names. And you know he's not born in the UK. He's
Yeah,
born
okay.
in New York.
Okay.
Born in America.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah. Holy polies, man. Who's got one kid? Who's got one kid? Quarten's got one. That kid's adopted, bro. That was not by his own volition. There's no way that kid's adopted. Nobody.
You are
Nobody bred up with Quarten and said, yeah, no one bred with Quarten.
Does it say what he has?
Go look at the kid and tell.
How old?
Go look at the. I bet the kid's adopted. Yeah. Go look at the kid. That kid looked like one of Michael Jackson's kids. 100%. That is not his. Go look at Quarten's kids right now and tell me that kid looked like him.
Got strong features though, so it should. If it's his. Cameraman's face. Okay.
It does.
Go on.
Hilarious.
That man got fired in under 40 days, you know. That's Jesus fasted for longer than my man was in.
Oh,
prison.
behave. Like I said, there's somebody out there for everybody.
There is.
Everybody.
At a good price. There's whole catalogues where you could purchase a bride.
Oh Lord.
I'm saying.
Oh.
That's why they fired him. He took some of the budget and I never.
For that personal catalogue, yeah.
That's why they caught him on a flight back. Quarten, come back. Leave the bride there. Come back over here. I know you've been shopping for a missus. I'm sorry. I feel I shouldn't really talk about it like that, but if you don't laugh, you cry. That's how I see it.
Especially right now. The cost
My
of
daughter named Francis Liberty.
Francis Liberty.
Francis Liberty.
All right.
Okay.
That's a strong name.
With all respect to Francis Liberty, I'm not badding up the kids. I won't do that, right?
We just didn't know you existed.
the girl child.
Young child.
Yeah.
The girl child.
Well, I'm not big. I won't bad up no one's kid. But Quarten, I can't believe. Well done. That must have been the one time he had sex. You never know. That's a one time.
Yes, guys. So Aurie's got to leave us now. It's got a show to go to.
It's been absolutely amazing having you on.
It has
now.
been really
Thank
nice.
you very much.
You've been so good, so patient, so helpful.
Yes.
Such a lovely person.
And entertaining as well.
Thank you very much.
And actually,
Funny.
I feel like I've learnt from you as well. You know, you seem very knowledgeable as well.
Try.
That's the
One or
geeking.
two
It's the
things.
geeking you.
But no, it's been a nice afternoon, and we
Yeah,
hope
it
you've
has.
enjoyed yourselves on
Thank
the
you.
Grapevine. But yeah, let everybody know where they can find you on the social media and stuff.
Okay, on social media, my name is Aurie, Aurie Styla, Styla. That's Aurie Styla, all one word, and all social media platforms. And on the 31st of October, I'm releasing my special Green, which I toured around the UK and then took it up around Scotland as well.
Yeah.
I'm just giving it away for free, so people can watch it on YouTube on October the 31st.
Brilliant.
Lovely.
Just round the
check that
corner.
out. Exactly.
Look out for that.
Yes.
It's an hour of me trying to be funny and trying to be smart and educational.
Do
at
some
the same
shit.
time. So,
Not trying.
Chat a little bit of something, yeah.
little something.
But that'll be out on 31st of October. Check that out, and there's information on all my platforms about that as well. Thank you.
And before you go, we love to give our grapeviners a little bit of a word of wisdom. So
Okay.
can you just leave them with a little something, something, something?
A word of wisdom.
Yeah, 'cause we usually do like a quote,
Quote
of the week.
or something.
Ooh, okay. Be kind to yourself. So much pressure we put on ourselves to have to be something beyond what we may be ready to be at the time or beyond what we're capable at the time. Be kind to yourself. The time for you to become whatever it is you want to be will come as long as you just keep grafting and working towards it.
Yeah.
May feel slower than it's supposed to,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that it won't happen. Just be patient. It will. And if ever you feel like it's too much or things are too much, it's okay to take a breather and stop and go, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes. Amen to
Thanks
that.
for that.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank
Don't forget to
you.
like and subscribe to the Grapevine Podcast, available
Yes,
on
do
all
that.
platforms.
Do
All you
that.
gotta do is type in
All of
Grapevine
that.
Podcast.
Grapevine
and you
dot
will-
podcast.
Sorry, Grapevine dot podcast, and you'll see us on all platforms, right?
Thank
Make sure
you.
you listen. If you're a first-time listener or if this is your last time, we still love and appreciate you. Big up yourself. Love to you guys. And remember, 3rd of December,
Yes.
make sure you come and check us out at the
Yes.
Grapevine
Please.
Podcast live right here
Live.
at MJ's Bar and Grill in Wednesbury. Wednesbury?
Wednesbury.
Wednesday. That's where it is, yeah? We're in Wednesday right now. But yeah, make sure you check that out.
Feels like
Tickets
that.
are available on Eventbrite.
Thank
we would love to
you.
see you there. It's going to be a great time.
Thank
Thank you.
And take care, everybody.
everyone. Bye.